Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Right from the Capitol.
Yes, right from the Capitol. And you were in the Rose Garden this week with President Trump and the First Lady as he signed the Take It Down law. Now, this is something you had an important role in, along with Melania Trump. Tell us why you took this on.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity, Jackie. Well, because we need to save young kids' lives and we need to protect them. This is the first law that tells big tech, you got to pay attention to the users. And basically what the law is saying is that if you are, usually the victims are young females. If one of your colleagues takes your likeness, your image, your face, your voice, and puts fake images, most of them pornographic images, then you can call big tech, and in 48 hours, they have to bring it down. They have to take it down from social media. We've had children who have committed suicide because the embarrassment, the shame is so big, and police, the parents, the school, they had no recourse. Snapchat took a year to bring down or to take down some of those images. In another case, no more. And, you know, we got to give thanks to the First Lady, because when she heard that we were moving this legislation through Congress, she raised her hand. She says, I want to be part of this. And she was the wind behind those sails. So it got signed by her husband.
Well, congratulations on that. I want to move to more news this week on the Supreme Court decision siding with the Trump administration to end TPS for Venezuelans. Some estimates as high as 350,000 or more, many of which are your constituents.
Yeah, we are sending a very clear message to the White House that there's a provision. I mean, let's say the Supreme Court is sacred. So that's what makes this country. So I'm never going to discuss or dispute a decision made by the Supreme Court. But we can go to the administration and say there is something called deferred enforcement, meaning, yeah, okay, they may be subject to deportation, or they have to leave the country, but not yet. Let's wait. Let's defer that. And the Trump administration took this action in 2017 during his first administration. So it's very clear message that we're sending. 300,000 people cannot go back to Caracas. They are not Tren de Aragua.
Have you gotten a response from the White House?
We are working with them because, Jackie, you know what's the problem? The problem here is that immigration is such a big topic. We have Tren de Aragua, MS-13. You have the illegals who are criminals, the illegals who are not criminal. And then we have the TPS. We have the I-28 for the Cubans. So the administration doesn't really need to know the little nuances, the little details when it comes to immigration. But we do. We do in South Florida.
And there are some that, if sent back, could be in danger.
Oh, no. Listen, going back to Caracas, besides, we don't even know if Maduro is going to take them. So as I explained to DHS and to AG, to the different leadership next to Trump, we got to solve this. So let's defer it. And I'm sure it's going to happen because it's common sense, which is the least common of all sense.
Nonetheless, many of the Venezuelan community here were Trump supporters.
Yes. And of course, because we are not socialists. And we know that the Democratic Party has been infiltrated by the socialist forces. So I understand what you're telling me. I have written my voice, and the administration knows, but not only Salazar, you know, I'm a little bit louder, but it's Salazar and Jimenez and Diaz-Balart. We are together, united. We represent South Florida, and we know what a TPS Venezuelan is going through right now, thinking, oh my God, I have to go where? Just like the I-228 with the Cubans. So what are you gonna do? But, you know, think about it. Why did the Biden administration did not give them a more secured position, specifically to the I-28 for the Cubans, for the TPS for the Venezuelans? Why didn't you give them something else? I mean, it's immigration, as you know, is a very big, difficult, toxic topic in DC, where we are. But here I am fighting for them. And then that's my lane, immigration.
Well, let's move on, because Speaker Johnson brought President Trump to the Capitol this week to get support for the president's so-called big, beautiful bill.
Yeah,
it seems
I was there. Hilarious. Right. He was hilarious.
Right. But it seems as if the party is a bit divided on this one. First of all, will you vote for it as is?
Of course, look, the party is not divided. Right now, there were two issues that did not give us the votes within the GOP. The SALT people, the New York group, that they wanted to solve SALT, and that's not a Florida issue. And then Medicaid. And right now, the House Freedom Caucus, people that usually do not, they don't go along with the party usually. I mean, they may be right, but the terms and the way they want to fix problems is not the most correct one. So right now, the House Freedom Caucus, what they are fighting for is Medicaid. They want more cuts in Medicaid. And the president said it clearly. Only waste, fraud, and abuse. We're not going to touch anyone that needs Medicaid. Only waste, fraud, and abuse. And there's a lot of money being wasted in fraud and in abuse, all right? But if you are entitled and you do need and you deserve Medicaid, we're not touching it. And that was a mandate from Trump. We were with him for 2 hours. And like I said, he was hilarious. But he said it very clearly, do not touch Medicaid. And the problem with the House Freedom Caucus, 3 or 4 members, we're talking about 3 members only out of 223 that are saying, yeah, we have to cut Medicaid more. It's not going to happen. And we know it's not going to happen. And I'm sure that this bill is going to happen, whether this week or next week, but it is happening because so much is riding on it. I mean, the 2017 tax breaks. If you earn tips or an auto loan on Social Security, all those taxes are coming down. We're fixing the United States government. This has to pass. This is our biggest chance this year, and it will pass. I am sure. I believe in Johnson. I know that. Hey, listen, this is democracy. Dictatorship, you don't have to talk to anybody. The dictator makes the rules. But here, that's why we still have the best country on earth.
So it's safe to say that you're confident that this will pass.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's just a mess. But it will pass.
Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar, as always, we thank you for your time and always for joining us. Thank you.
Of course. Always my love to you. Thank you.